Hi everyone, welcome to Morning Matcha. Today is going to be a really special episode because I'm here with founder of Unplug, Suze Yalof Schwartz. And Suze and I go way back to when she opened Unplug, and I was one of her first customers, and she really basically changed my life, I would say. My mind, which changed my life. And offered me a lot of clarity. So I'm really excited to be here with you today.
I'm excited to be with you, Nikki. I can't believe this. It's so cool.
I know. When I first met you, it was McKenna brought me.
McKenna Kuhn.
Because I think she had known about you from Lululemon, and they got like free classes all the time. So then we would come, and I'd always thought of myself as someone who was into meditation, but I really didn't realize what that was because I had done my yoga teacher training, but every time we would do the yoga nidra portion or just get into meditation, I would fall asleep. And your class really helped me with just all the classes that you guys offer here, but it just really helped me build stamina, and like I would stay awake more and more the more often I came, but just like find that zone. What's that zone called?
It's called the gap or the sweet spot, where you are kind of in between thought and focusing on your intention. So when you meditate, there's really only three things that happen. One is you pick a point of focus. Two is you let it go. You're in that gap of present moment awareness. And three is your mind wanders and you start thinking. And then you start all over again. And so you were able to achieve that space to just kind of anchor into stillness and silence and your creativity and what you want in life.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'd love for you to share with us just your story and how you fell into opening Unplug, because I know it wasn't necessarily, planned for when you moved here from New York.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your background in New York and what brought you out here and how you got into meditating.
Well, my background in New York is I was a fashion editor. I was working in fashion for decades, not decade, but decades to over 20 years. I started as an assistant to Patrick Kelly in Paris, where I was assisting him and helping him with the runway shows and doing all the backstage, which was really fun. And then I went to Giorgio Armani, and this was before stylists. So I worked on styling, and we would style all the celebrities for their movies and for television and for the Oscars.
Wow.
And then from Giorgio Armani, I was assisting the PR director. He left and connected me to Candy Price of Vogue, who hired me as her assistant. And I was an accessories assistant there. Then I became the accessories associate at Vogue. Then I went to Elle and became accessories director. And then they were launching Marie Claire, and I went there as accessories director. And then Glamour asked me if I wanted to be accessories director. And I was like, okay, I think I'm done with accessories. I'll come for clothing.
Yeah.
And so they said, okay. So I ended up running the market for New York, Paris, and Milan for clothes, working at Glamour. I started off as the director of market. Then I became fashion director. Then I became the executive editor at large and kind of did a lot of makeovers. Actually, what happened was, this is a funny story, is we were doing the swimsuit makeovers. And every year they do this in May, they do the swimsuit makeover issue, or February. Yeah,
what does that mean?
In May we do
makeover?
it. In February it comes out. So we basically would take these swimsuits and we'd have all these real women come and try them on. So if you had a large bust or a flat chest, we would make your bust look bigger. We would make your bust look smaller, your butt look larger, your butt look smaller.
With the swimsuits.
With the swimsuits. And then they would shoot them on mannequins. And I said, wait, it doesn't even look good on mannequins. Let's shoot them on real people. And we did a shoot on real people, and it went over so well that Oprah called me and asked me to do it on her TV show. And then the New York Times saw that, and then they did a story on me being like the fairy godmother of makeovers. And the next thing you know, I was doing makeovers for 14 and a half years at Glamour. So I did the whole do's and don'ts section. I traveled with GMA and the Today Show doing makeovers every single day.
I remember the
practically.
makeover show, like getting onto, I don't know, Today Show or whatever. They would, and all the reality TV shows that were doing makeovers, like The Swan.
Yes, I actually did the Swan. So, I didn't do the Swan, but we went on the casting line and we grabbed them off before they went in for surgery. And we're like, let's just show you what changing your hair, changing your makeup, changing your outfit can do for you.
That's crazy.
And I think we saved 5 people from undergoing the knife when we took them off of that line.
That's so incredible.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Wow.
So I started in fashion. I'm sorry, that was a long-winded story of how I got into it. But my husband wanted to move to Los Angeles for a job. And he said, can you quit glamour and move to LA with our 3 kids? And I really didn't want to do that. But he really did. And I said, you know what? He said, don't you want to be adventurous? And I thought, okay. So I left my family, I left my friends, and I picked up and I moved here, and I decided I've never not worked in my entire life. So I spent 6 months not working as he kind of, amped up his job. And in that 6 months, I really didn't know what I was doing with myself. I was beating bracelets at this place called Semi Precious. I was going out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and getting fat. I was, working in fashion, still going back and forth between New York and LA after the 6 months doing taxi TV commercials for Lord and Taylor. And when I came home, I was up for 3 different TV shows, and it just didn't feel right. Like, it just didn't feel authentic to me.
Was that the first time in your life that you felt like that? Like all the years that you'd been in fashion, all that you genuinely loved it and you were passionate? Like there was never a time that you were burnt out?
Well, I was probably burnt out, but there was always love. Like I was obsessed and loved fashion. I still love fashion. It didn't die. Like my love for fashion's still there. But when you move to California, it's not the same as fashion in New York. So there's kind of for me, I felt a little inauthentic because I wasn't going to the shows and I wasn't in the industry, and I was yet still reporting on what Kate Middleton was wearing before she got married, which is so apropos for right now. And at that time, when I went to New York and I left my 3 kids to do these taxi TV commercials, I was so stressed out. My mother-in-law's like, you need to breathe. And she taught me a 3-minute exercise that completely changed my life. She said, close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath in, and breathe out. And now try to visualize or imagine that you're in your happy place. So I went to Jamaica, and then I opened my eyes and I said, what was that? That was awesome. And she said, it's meditation. You should learn how to do it. So when I came to California, I came back, I went to look for places to meditate, and there was no place to go. It was either like a 4-week program, a 6-week program, really expensive. And I thought, where's the Drybar of meditation where you could just kind of like go in feeling icky, walk out feeling great in 30 minutes. And I said, well, I should open up a meditation studio. So I went home to my husband. I'm like, I'm quitting fashion. I'm going to open up a meditation studio. And he said, you should learn how to meditate first. I'm like, okay, there's that. So I ended up taking all these classes, and the more different types of classes I took, the more I realized that I actually liked the different types of classes. And most places you go to, it's one school. So if you're in mindfulness, it's mindfulness. If you're in MBSR, it's mindfulness-based stress reduction. If you're in transcendental meditation, it's that. If you're Vedic, it's that. But there was no place kind of exploring all of them and taking out like the parts that didn't spark joy. So as an editor, I decided to edit and curate the experience where I could have like sound baths, guided imagery classes, tapping, mindfulness, mantra, aromatherapy, crystal healing, all in one space in a safe zone that felt clean. Because a lot of these places you feel
icky.
And so voila, Unplug. I mean, that was the birth of Unplug. And it's been, I have not for one day not appreciated the fact that I get to do this. It has been such a pleasure meeting incredible people like you, who I met in the beginning and fell in love with you and your mother. And then see you get married and now pregnant. And it's just like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah. I love that you really had a hunger for it too. And so you were like you were learning and you were getting into sound baths and crystals and all these things and bringing it to the people who it's more than making it more accessible, because it's not like you were super intense into, what is it, Vipassana.
Right.
And then it's like 10-day silent. Like that's what Unplug is. It's just really making it accessible. And that's really how I fell in love with it too, because I felt like there was a place for me finally.
Right.
And it was easy, like 30 minutes, pop in, pop out. And I didn't know anything about tapping. And I considered myself someone in the health and wellness industry, but I hadn't tried these things because some of the things that you offered here, it's like people would watch on YouTube. Or like tapping, like Dr. Mercola has tapping videos on YouTube, but they're not the same as coming into a class and experiencing
with
it.
Alina George, who then you became friends with and is on your site. Like, it's so cool.
It's so awesome.
I know. I mean, the people that work here, everybody says, are you so proud? Yes, I am so proud of the talent that we have in the studio. I mean, we have the top teachers in the world, and I get to learn from them. So I'm coming from it from a student's perspective and not as much from a teaching perspective, though I have subbed classes and I will in need. That's not who I want to be. I want to learn. I want to be exposed to all the different teachers, and I want to grow. And I just feel so lucky that I get to.
And now you guys are offering like certifications.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we had so many people say, we want to teach at Unplug. How do we become teachers at Unplug? And the truth is most of our teachers have been certified from other places. So we decided to create our own certification so that we could create teachers that we felt would be great teachers here.
Yeah.
So I, of course, called one of my favorite teachers, who is David G., who is funny, smart. Every word that comes out of his mouth is a genius soundbite. Have you ever taken any of his classes?
I haven't.
He blows me away. And we just decided to try it out. So we came up with this whole program. The two of us collaborated on it, and we made sure.
I love that you say we just decided to try it out, but then like you created an entire program, and it's like a lot of work. But for you, you're like, yeah, we're gonna do it,
and we did. And we then, put up an advertisement, not even an ad. We just threw it up on Instagram. We had students. It just ended this week. We had students from Switzerland, Sweden, the UK, Canada, and there were a total of 22 teachers. It was a giant love fest.
Wow.
It was 6 weeks, and 5 of them were online, and 1 week was in residence. And what we did that's different from any other teacher training is we taught them how to find their signature move, because anybody can recite a script.
Yeah.
Anybody can learn how to lead a meditation class. But what makes meditation teachers and the ones that you want to go to interesting is when they bring themselves to the table. They bring their own signature move. They bring their own passion and joy and love, and they inspire you to want to meditate every single day. Those are the kind of people we wanted to create, and we did. I mean, they went up on stage, and I was probably crying all week long, just feeling like, I can't believe we did this. We pulled this off. I mean, they had to send by week 5 sample videos
of their signature move or
of
just
their, class. And a lot of them were kind of flat. And by the end, I thought to myself, A, I can't wait to take their class. And B, how do I create a space where they can actually lead classes? So we're going to have a Friday night pop-up where they each get to do their 5-minute class.
That's so
and it's going to be
cool.
like an open mic night. But already, I mean, it just ended on Saturday, and Julia from Canada is going to be teaching 5 classes in Canada. Unplugged classes, which is amazing. Ryan from the UK is going to probably launch his own meditation studio called Levitate in London. And
cool.
it's cool.
And Kama Hagar.
Yes, I love her.
She's so sweet.
Do you know her?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've worked with her in the past, and I know her through a friend, but
have you tried her face oil, by the way? So her face oil is the best face oil.
It's so
ever.
clean and pure and has the best, guava. And
She's going to be a great teacher. Ho Maya. she'll, if she's listening to this, Ha'omana. That's a little mantra that she learned in Hawaii that she taught that we were all chanting. And it was great. I mean,
That's
there's
really
something about
cool.
her that makes you feel happy, and she was able to translate that.
How do you find your signature style or move? And someone who might not be teaching, but wants to find out what that is for themselves.
Honestly, meditation, sitting in stillness and silence and connecting to what makes you feel happy. Even if you ask yourself that question, what makes me happy? And you just stop and listen.
It can be so daunting in the beginning, though. I think because what happens in the beginning, or I remember thinking, I don't know. And then when you're out of the meditation, because obviously when you're in it, you're just like chill, but then your mind starts going. It's like, do I not know myself? Who am I? What, like,
Who am
I'm
I?
not connected to myself, you know, but then it goes, and then you go back to, okay, just take a deep breath.
Well, you think about the thing that you love to learn. So like David G's 16-second meditation, where he breathes in through the nose to the count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. That can de-stressify anyone. So then you say to yourself, okay, I love that. I love asking intentional questions. I love changing my face to a smile that makes me feel happy automatically because I just did that. There's so many different things that you try. And that's what they did, is they tried and explored and thought about what they loved and came up with things. I mean, it was amazing.
So
we're actually
beautiful.
doing another one coming up very shortly, and we'll be doing a lot of them. And you can see our latest Unplugged meditation teacher training on our Unplug.com app.
That's amazing.
Actually, on our Unplug.com website. The app is a whole nother thing.
The app is called Unplug, though?
The app is called Unplug guided meditation. It's launching today, actually, the new version 2.
So exciting.
And what I love about it is, I mean, we're hoarding so many incredible teachers here.
Yeah.
And everybody from New York to England to actually even Korea wants us to send our teachers. And so what we decided to do was create a way that everyone all over the world can access them and meditate with them. And we haven't even promoted it yet. And it's already being viewed in 60 different countries, which to me is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Heather Hayward, who's one of our teachers, said, I just got stopped by someone who said they love me on the app.
Oh.
And I love her too. Have you done her?
No.
Okay, she has this meditation. She's an incredible teacher. And she has this meditation called, actually, it's under the panic button section. And it's called Panic Button When You're Overwhelmed. And of course, I'm like hitting that all the time. And she just transforms you in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I can be totally overwhelmed, stressed, and worried. And by the end of 10 minutes, I feel calm, centered, happy. And she did that.
And she just guides you through it.
Just guides you through it. It's great. And she does the same thing for when you're angry, and there's the imagery where you're running up a mountain, and by the end, and you're just sitting there listening to it. By the end, you're kind of exhausted. You're letting go, and you're like, I don't feel angry anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
So how does it work? It's, let's say you go on the app and you're like, I have 5 minutes, or I have, is it by
Oh gosh.
time?
Okay. Well, it's so crazy. I want to just show it to you really quickly. So basically, you get the meditation of the day. So if you don't want to scroll or look for anything, you can just click that and be done. That's there for you right on the top of every home screen.
That's nice.
The second one is you can search by the amount of time you have, from 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. You can search by the topics you're interested in. Intro to meditation, morning, evening, anytime. Guided journeys, which are all led by hypnotists who guide you through this experience. You see your soul in those.
Wow. Is that like past life regression?
We have that. We have your future self, your ideal life, inner vacation, where you actually take a flight to your favorite destination in your brain. panic button, Soothe and Heal, which is for like cancer patients or people in pain, specialty, which is every single crystal meditation, every single aromatherapy meditation, astrological, which is Danny Beinstein does every single astrological sign, travel, kids, family, test prep, which is for kids who want to like score higher on their SATs or ACTs.
And they can do it right before a test or just leading up to
We worked with a test prep company to create that section.
That's unbelievable.
I know. Then you could just search by the teachers you love and you could create your own playlist. So you can save all the ones that you want, or you can actually use ours, which is like 30-day meditation challenge, 21 days to better sleep, 21 days to less stress, that kind of thing.
And that launches.
There's also a timer where you
cool.
can meditate unguided in silence or to music. And there's stats. So you can set reminders for yourself to remind you to meditate every single day. Or you can set goals for yourself. I want to meditate every day for 3 days. And then when you achieve it not only keeps track, but it sends you congratulatory emails. I mean, there's more, but I could go on and on.
Yeah,
like we put everything
notes.
but the kitchen sink in there.
That's incredible.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are, that's so different than what you see out there.
Right. And what's especially different is it's video. And the reason why we did video, because people are like, why did you do video? Because you're just closing your eyes anyway, is because I want to be able to see my teacher.
Yeah, I agree.
And when Heather's talking like this, I'm connecting to her.
Yeah. I mean, we all learn in such different ways. So why not offer that? It's like this podcast. We have the video, but we also, some people like listening. Some people are driving. So that's how they're consuming the content. But other people are sitting at home and they want to feel like they're in class.
And they're hanging out with us. And they are. I mean, this conversation that we're having is for us, but it's also to share with as many people who can possibly ripple it out. Let's ripple peace and calm to as many people as we possibly can, because that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, people just want you to be present with them. They want you to be kind. And when you think about like your obituary, it's not going to say what you did for a living. Maybe it will if you're super famous, but
for you,
it's going to talk about how you made people feel, and that's how they're going to remember you. How did she make me feel? What did she do for the world? Just let's all spread some kindness. And by the way, like as my fashion editor former self is listening to myself speak at this exact moment, I giggle because I wasn't spreading kindness. I was spreading not fury, but speed. And, I was moving very fast and not very mindful of my life prior to getting into meditation. I wish I could meet
fashion editor Susie and see the difference, because I could never imagine you like that.
Oh, well, you can YouTube me and see it. I was like, we're on the Virgin America. I was making over people on the airplane. And I woke this woman up and she's like, I didn't expect to be woken up on the airplane.
That's so funny. Yeah. One of the things I think it's interesting, in this day and age with like technology, but also wanting to connect in person and finding that balance, I think it's really cool that you have Unplug in Santa Monica, and you just opened West Hollywood, right? Recently. And that's so exciting because it's a place people can come, those who live around here, to have access to community and different events that you host. But then it's so nice to obviously have the app for people who can't attend. But what I want to hear about just, how you differentiate them and your thoughts on both and how to find balance in that.
Well, for me, my goal is to be able to meet you where you are. So people love the Unplugged community. I mean, and it's such a come as you are party. We have a lot of people who are in their 20s and 30s, but we also have a lot of people who are in their 60s and 70s. And there's like a scene with those people, and there's a scene with the younger people, and everyone in between. And it's a great way for them to come and really, when you come to our studio, you have to unplug. You have to hand over your phone. You have to go into the room, and you're not running out in 45 minutes. So you're committed to being there, and there's no cheating.
Yeah.
Whereas on the app, sometimes you can be distracted by life. In the studio, I can be in a room with 100 people and I feel like I'm by myself. And then I open my eyes and I'm like, I feel that group amazing energy. So what we decided to do is, yes, we have the studios and we're going to be opening up more of them.
Oh, okay.
We have the app so that you can achieve it. And we had a book that came out called Unplug, A Simple Guide to Meditation for Busy Skeptics and Modern Soul Seekers. And that was in every airport across the country. And it's in 9 different languages. So the reach is, and then now we're doing this teacher training so people can go into their countries and spread it. So our only goal and intention is to help. We're like the gateway drug to the deeper practices. You come here, you dabble, you explore all the different modalities, and you then either have your own practice at home, or you then go on a retreat to India, or you just keep coming here every single day for 4 years. We have people who've been doing that who love it. So we're like slightly changing with all of them, but we also understand that some people come here, they get so inspired that they want to take it to the next level, and they do. So we just try to meet people where they're at.
Yeah, now they can with the program, the certification program, or just their own practice with the
what's
app.
interesting is that a lot of people took the teacher training program not to become teachers, but to just deepen their practice. Like I'm assuming you're not a yoga instructor, but yet you have a yoga certification. Is that why you took that?
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure, but then afterwards I was like, I never want to be a teacher. I really just want to learn for the rest of my life. And similar to you, I just think that's just the type of person I am. I'm curious and I want to go deep, but I don't feel like the need to tell other people how to do it.
Right.
Yeah. That's exciting though, that you're opening more locations.
I've been looking in New York, San Francisco, and Playa Vista.
Here?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think of Playa Vista?
I haven't spent
Can we
much
drink
time
our
there.
matcha since it is morning matcha?
I haven't spent much time there, but it's definitely far enough away that.
Well, I like it because it's called Silicon Beach now, because YouTube's opening up there, Facebook, Google. There's so many different companies opening up there. So I think it'll be
now
great.
they're tapped into how meditation really helps their workforce.
Yeah,
right?
we're actually on the campus of Google and on the campus of YouTube every single week for the next 2 months.
You're sending teachers there?
So Lauren Ekstrom has gone there, Nick Pratley, Andrew Clark, Lily Pettit, Jenna Reese. They've all gone there.
Do you watch Billions?
Yes, I like that he meditates too.
And his room is kind of like blush pink, like yours.
Yep.
I always think of Unplug whenever I see the scenes in there.
It's so funny. We had a writer come here from the Ray Donovan show and was so inspired that they wrote a scene about, meditation. And it was inspired by Unplug. And the entire Ray Donovan production team came to look at the space and then realized it'd be even easier to create the space at their own studios. But
that's so cool.
It was pretty cool to see.
Before I came, I had seen the James Turrell installation. And then before I had come to Unplug ever. And then when I came and you did that, it reminded me of his installations. And that was kind of when I started realizing how impactful color is. And just color therapy in general.
Right.
Do you guys do that? Do you change the colors?
We do. Well, here in this private space right now, we're in the VIP space where we also film the app. And this is where we do all of our privates, and the colors change. So the teacher chooses the color. In West Hollywood, we can change the color. Here, we keep it purple. But to be honest with you, even in West Hollywood, I personally prefer purple because purple is very calming.
Tell us more about the colors and color therapy in general.
I wish I could say that I knew enough about it to talk to it, but I really don't, other than your chakras are different colors. So a lot of the teachers believe if we're trying to ground, we're going to go red. If we're trying to boost communication, we're going to go blue. It's the same thing with crystals. If you match the crystal to the chakra, it's supposed to open it up.
What are your favorite meditations or types of meditation?
I change mine up all the time. So right now I'm really into sound therapy. Like I love the bowls. I could sit and listen to the bowls all day long. I'm obsessed with Koshi chimes.
What's
I'm going to turn you on to
Oh
that
my gosh,
afterwards.
I
They're
can't wait.
amazing. They're these little chimes that if you bang them on your knees, they're very harmonic. And Andrew Clark, who's one of our teachers, turned me on to him. And Andrew Clark plays the crystal bowls. Have you ever seen those crystal tones bowls that are
Yeah,
made of
they're
amethyst?
beautiful.
They're a fortune. They're
Yeah,
beautiful.
they're
But when
so-
he's the master of them, and I love him. He's actually doing a bowl class this weekend where you can come and meet with him and he can teach you how to play the
Really?
bowls and then I don't know how expensive it is, but any amount that you spend to take the class, you can
Goes
translate
towards-
towards the bowl.
Those bowls. There's this
Yeah.
place in Shasta that sells them, and they have this entire showroom of all the bowls. And I was like, I'm gonna break something. I'm gonna end up breaking something and not
Right.
leave with anything. I better get out of here.
Right.
But
Smart
yeah,
move.
crystal bowls are.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm into that. I'm into just bookending my day. David G inspired me to wake up every single morning without doing anything, meditate. He says 20 minutes, but I'm good for 10, 15. And then at around 4 o'clock, I like to recenter myself as well.
What do you say to people who are just skeptical about it or think that, like, for example, for yoga, people are like, oh, well, I'm not flexible, so I can't practice yoga. So, what do you hear common excuses for meditation or just difficulty getting into a routine?
The three most common things I hear is I have no time, I think too much, and I can't sit still. And let's just address all three. I have no time. I don't have time either. But if Oprah Winfrey can make the time, so
Seriously.
so can you. So I always say you're never going to have the time. You have to make the time. So if you wake up first thing in the morning and you just give yourself 5 to 10 minutes of stillness and silence, then you can like check that box, done. And it's the greatest thing. It'll slow down your whole day. It'll calm you down and you can live your life a little bit more intentionally instead of reacting to things. You can be more responsive. So that's what I say to that. Thinking too much. Okay, that's the number one thing. People think, I can't do this. I think too much.
Yeah.
We all think too much. We have 50,000 thoughts every single day, between 50 and 80,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. It's
So
like
many.
a thought every second.
Yeah.
There's another one. There's another one.
And it's exhausting
It is.
without us even knowing it.
So, but the truth is meditation is like doing a bicep curl from your brain. So every time your mind wanders off to thought and you choose to bring it back to, let's say, your breath, breathing, 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 mind wanders, let's bring it back. That's the bicep curl. Second, your mind wanders and you are aware of it and you redirect it back to either your word, which they call the mantra, mind instrument mantra, or to your breath or to whatever your point of attention is. That's the muscle that you're flexing that literally builds your prefrontal cortex, which is executive decision-making, focus, and compassion. And if you don't believe that that works, check out our website where we put a 7-minute TED Talk from Harvard neurologist Sarah Lazar. And she shows before and afters of brains on people who had never meditated, who then did 5 weeks of meditation above the age of 50, and then people who don't meditate at all. And you will see the difference in the brain. So science has proven that this works. There's no dispute. I mean, it's a fact. It works. Everyone who does it benefits. I've never met anyone
Yeah.
who practiced meditation who did not benefit in some way. I've never.
That would be ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
my life got it could change your life. And first, I guess, make it crazy before it gets better. But I wonder how many minutes those studies are on. Like how many minutes
the
of meditation?
minutes say her Harvard neurology study was 28 minutes for 8 weeks.
Every day.
However, we see, and this is not scientifically proven, we see people who come to our studio one time changing their brain. We see people who come every day saying, you know, the effects have been so powerful. We see people who meditate 5 minutes every morning for 2 weeks saying the effects are so powerful. So just, I think everybody's unique. Everybody has their own story. No two people have the same
DNA.
It's like a snowflake. There's no two snowflakes that are the same. There's no two meditations that are the same. So yeah.
Aw. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited about the app and the new Unplugged studios and staying up to date on everything. And I just feel like you really are changing the energy of LA. And I've seen the effect of, I mean, this was the first meditation studio like this. And now we're seeing them pop up all over. And it's so beautiful. And it's something that it's all really because of the connection that you made. And it's really helping so many people across the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thanks for doing that for me, because I started with this and now I have Kundalini meditation as part of something that I do, but that's not for everyone. But similar to you, I like tapping into all different kinds. So I'm definitely going to be using the app.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well,
It's cool. Exactly what I said. You start with us and then you see where you want to go, or you just stay. But either way, it's a win, because when you bring meditation into your life, it will make it better. Really will.
cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Matcha.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Had to add that
So
cheese factor in.